Another huge week for Derrick Henry, AFC teams duke it out, and so much more in the Week 3 recap show. Let's get into it. Starting on Thursday night, the Steelers face the Browns in an always gritty AFC North battle. For the third week in a row, the Steelers are in a close game. On 4th and 5, with the game on the line, Kenny Pickett launches this pass downfield to chase Claypool in double coverage, but he can't bring it down. The Steelers' last-ditch effort falls short, and the Browns win 24-20. The ground game for both teams was the highlight, as Nick Chubb and Najee Harris combined for 294 yards and a score from Chubb. In the first 1 p.m. game, the Saints moved to 2-1 on the year, beating the Panthers 19-14. They have played 3 division games to open the year and so far are off to a hot start. Justin Fields and the Bears welcome Davis Mills and the Texans Soldier Field for Week 3 in a battle of winless teams. A defensive-heavy game that went into overtime ends in the leg of Cairo Santos. He puts through the game-winning field goal to give the Bears their first win of the season, 16-13. Justin Fields had a good dual-threat day with 191 passing yards, a passing touchdown, and 74 yards on the ground. We saw our Colts survive Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs in their home opener, 27-24. It took a vintage Matt Ryan drive to get it done, as the game-winning touchdown pass went to Paris Campbell. Colts stay undefeated at 3-0 and the Chiefs fall to 1-2. Josh Allen and the Bills head down to sunny Miami, Florida to play an AFC East Division game against the Dolphins. Cornerback Teron Johnson has been pleased with the secondary play as of late, and the whole defense hopes to stay united and keep it going. Tua and the Dolphins put the Bills out like Uncle Phil used to do Jazzy Jeff, as Tua throws 3 touchdowns, 2 to Tyreek Hill and 1 to Chase Edmonds. In the 31-10 Dolphins win. Despite the loss, Johnson and the Bills defense are reportedly still close as a unit and want to put this behind them as quickly as possible. 2 1-1 teams in the NFC North meet up as the Lions face the Vikings. Vikings are hoping to avoid a 0-2 division start. The Vikings led 16-7 at the half. Detroit roared back, scoring 13 unanswered points, and capping off the comeback with a touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown to go up 20-16. That would be the final as the Lions moved to 2-1 on the year and 1-0 in the division. Vikings are now 0-2 in the NFC North. The Ravens go on the road to face Mac Jones and the undefeated Patriots. Can New England keep the early hot start going? Ravens trail 10-6 with 2:40 left in the third. On 3rd and 7, Lamar lets it fly on the run to Rashad Bateman. He makes the catch and drags his tackler into the end zone for the go-ahead score. Baltimore adds 2 more field goals to win, 19-10. The former Minnesota Gopher had a huge day, catching 5 passes for 111 yards and a touchdown. The Bengals look to get in the win column for the first time this season as they go on the road to face the Jets. Jermaine Pratt of the Bengals has been very happy with Zach Taylor's coaching scheme, letting him play to the best of his abilities. He wants to show that he's ready to take the next step now. You ever seen a jungle cat take out a plane and make it look easy? Well, that's what happened here as the Bengals offense rolled from the jump. Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow combined for 3 touchdowns as they shut out the Jets 29-0. The Titans welcome the Raiders to town, and all eyes are on both Derrick Henry and Jeffrey Simmons. Henry to see if he can have his 3rd 100-plus yard game in a row, and Simmons because he wants to become a premier defensive lineman in the NFL. King Henry continues his dominance with a heavy workload. He combined for a total of 217 rushing and receiving yards with 2 scores as well in the Titans' 24-13 win. In addition to that, the Titans held the Raiders to 33 yards on the ground, and Jeffrey Simmons was reportedly fired up about it, and with that performance has reached that X-Factor status as a defensive lineman. The Eagles travel to Washington to open NFC East play with the game against the Commanders. Eagles are looking for their first win, and the Commanders hope to stay perfect so far on the year. The Eagles did not look like a winless team in this game at all. Jalen Hurts made the Commanders feel his presence all game long. He threw 3 touchdowns, and Miles Sanders added a rushing score of his own as Philly sends a message to the Commanders with a 42-7 win. Philadelphia ended the day with a total of 424 offensive yards. Washington, on the other hand, only 154. It's a battle of young quarterbacks to begin the 4 o'clock games as Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert face off in the Jaguars-Chargers game. Chargers are 2-0, and the Jags are winless coming into this week's 3 game. J.C. Jackson has been the talk of Chargers media all week. After his 3 INT performance last week, he told the media he'd do it again against the Jaguars. When J.C. Jackson speaks, we should all listen from here on out, because he called his shot and he delivered. He made T-Law's day incredibly tough by picking him off 3 times and was a big factor along with Justin Herbert's 3 touchdown passes in the 31-0 shutout win. With the 3 interceptions, Jackson has firmly cemented himself as a pure game changer, X-Factor cornerback. Sticking with teams that play in domes or dome-like stadiums, it's on to Arizona, where the Cardinals are looking for their first win this season. Problem is, they have to go through the Rams to do so. Both teams play a clean game taking care of the ball, but Cam Akers has the big day. 171 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns allow the Rams to cruise to the 30-6 win over the Cardinals. Next up, the Falcons are still winless, entering 0-2, but hope to turn their fortunes around against the Seahawks in Week 3. Not a lot of offense in this game as Seattle led by 6 heading into the 3rd quarter, till Geno Smith opened the touchdown goal with this pass to Noah Fant. He'd throw one more to DK Metcalf as the Seahawks shut out the Falcons 19-0. There's talk out of Atlanta that rookie quarterback Desmond Ridder's time to start may be coming sooner than expected. 2 surefire future Hall of Fame quarterbacks meet once again as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers head down to Tampa to face Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in a battle of undefeated teams. Bucs safety Mike Edwards had 3 tackles and an interception last week. He wants to use that performance to push himself forward this week. Packers offense scored at least once in every quarter, up 28-13 with 2:34 left. Rodgers slings it to his best friend Randall Cobb in the end zone for the dagger score. Bucs would get 8 points later, but it's not enough. Packers stay undefeated, winning 35-21. Mike Edwards did enough in this game with his 5 tackles and a fumble recovery to be pleased with his play, and he's certainly using this as a springboard to stardom. Russell Wilson and the Broncos have the Sunday night game against the 2-0 49ers in Week 3, and to keep their streak going, Coach Kyle Shanahan knows how important it is to stop Russell Wilson, who can still be a dual threat despite his 10th year in the league. Shanahan told reporters earlier in the week that the best way to approach Wilson would be by limiting his scrambling ability. Well, they did contain him on the ground, holding Wilson to 25 yards and a score, but he did big damage through the air. Finishing 1 yard short of 300, Wilson and the Broncos send their fans home happy as they knock off San Francisco 20-10. The Monday night game is a renewal of an old school NFC East rivalry as the Cowboys head to MetLife Stadium to face the Giants. Dallas's D tackle Osa Odigizua racked up 3 tackles last week in their win over the Bengals, and he was fired up all week according to sources. He feels like he's ready to take the next step. Cowboys show up on both sides of the ball as Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott have huge days. Dak throws 2 touchdowns while Zeke runs for 148 and a score. The defense holds Saquon Barkley to just 39 yards on the ground as the Cowboys come out on top 24-17 over the Giants. With the team's performance of stopping Saquon Barkley, Osa Odigizua has taken that next step that he was hoping for, and we'll see if he can keep that momentum going and continue to get better over the course of the season as well. Let's check out standings after Week 3, first starting in the AFC North. The Browns and Ravens are tied first place at 2-1. Steelers and Bengals both are 1-1. In the AFC South, our Colts are on top 3-0 undefeated. Titans right behind them at 2-1, while the Jaguars and Texans are both 0-3. In the AFC East, the Patriots and Dolphins both tied for first place at 2-1. Jets and Bills both 1-2. On the AFC West side of things, Chargers in first place 3-0 undefeated. Broncos 2-1, Chiefs and Raiders are both 1-2. The theme continues as we head over to the NFC North. Packers in first place 3-0 undefeated. Lions are 2-1, Vikings and Bears both 1-2. In the NFC South, a little bit different here. Bucks and Saints 2-1, Panthers 1-2, Falcons are 0-3 in last place. In the NFC East, Cowboys and Commanders both 2-1, Eagles and Giants 1-2. And finally in the NFC West, It's the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks all tied at 2-1. Cardinals the only winless team, 0-3. Time to see who took home the Player of the Week awards for Week 3. Starting in the AFC, you'll notice a familiar face. Here on the offensive side, it's Derrick Henry once again. He won it last week as well. 171 rushing yards, a touchdown, and a receiving one as well. Big day for King Henry on the ground once again. On the defensive side, you'll also notice another familiar face. That's right, J.C. Jackson once again with 3 interceptions. This time only had 2 tackles. On the NFC side of things, it's Aaron Rodgers getting his first award this season for Player of the Week. 376 yards and 5 passing touchdowns. Big day for Aaron Rodgers. Defensive award in the NFC goes to Marcus Epps. 8 tackles, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and a touchdown as well. Busy day on the defense for him. Congratulations to all the players who took home the award this week in Week 3. Looking ahead to Week 4, our Colts will stay at home and play their 3rd division game of the year, their first against the Titans. Priority number 1 has to be stopping or slowing down Derrick Henry, as this will be an early season showdown between him and Jonathan Taylor. Henry is number 1 in rush yards this season, while Taylor is 10th. Both Taylor and Henry are tied for 2nd in rushing, touchdowns with 3, and Henry has opened the season with 100 rushing yards in all 3 games, while Taylor's only had 2. The season opener against the Texans and Week 3 against the Chiefs. Whoever has a better game on the ground will more than likely win the game. Leave your thoughts and predictions down in the comments below. Now let's bring it on home with our top stories heading into Week 4. The Packers, Chargers, and Colts are the only undefeated teams left. Will this number come down after Week 4 is over? After their loss in Week 3, the Chiefs are on a 2-game losing streak. Can they stop the bleeding against Tom Brady and the Bucs? And finally, as stated earlier, it's Derrick Henry versus Jonathan Taylor, who will have the bigger game as 2 of the top backs this season run against top 10 rushing defenses. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Week 3 recap show. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Keep on shining and keep on grinding, B team. I will see you all in the next one.